Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Drills back with another tutorial. Today we're going to be taking your FiveM modding skills to the next level. We're going to be getting all the essential tools and plugins you need to remove those branded badges and logos to make your 3D car models law friendly and ready for FiveM. Whether you're a beginner or looking to fine tune your setup, stick around because by the end of this video you'll be locked and loaded with everything you need. First we need to search for Blender downloads. I am going to leave a link in the description so you don't need to do this, or you can just Google it. We're going to head over to the Blender website and we're going to look for the previous versions. We're specifically looking for Blender 4.0 because it works well with the SOLLUMZ plugin, so we don't want the latest version. So we're going to click here and then we're going to click on download any Blender. And we're going to look through this list of previous versions until we find Blender 4.0. Next we're going to look for the release that suits your operating system. Specifically, most people will be using Windows x64. I am personally using that. You might be using a different operating system, but for this tutorial we're going to be downloading the Windows x64 version. Once that's downloaded, go ahead and open up your downloads folder. And we want to extract the file. You can use WinRAR or WinZip to extract the files, however I find the built-in Windows one nice and easy. This extract may take a little time, I have sped it up for the sake of the video. Once that's complete, we're going to open up the Blender launcher in the files like so. I already have Blender 4.0 installed, so for you the process might be slightly different, but it's pretty self-explanatory as any installation is. You just click, click, click and then finish. We're going to go ahead and minimize Blender and we're going to go and search for our next tool. Again, the link will be in the description, but if you want to go ahead and Google yourself, then search for SOLLUMZ plugin. This is a plugin, therefore it's on a GitHub repository as opposed to being its own program. It is a plugin for Blender, and so we're going to head over to GitHub and download the plugin. Down here on the right you'll find the latest releases, so go ahead and click on that. And then you want to scroll down to the bottom where you see the assets and you want to download the sollumz.zip, not the source code, just the sollumz.zip. Again, once this is downloaded, go ahead and open up your downloads folder. However, this time we won't be extracting the file because we don't need to do that to install the plugin into Blender. We're going to tab back into Blender. We're going to go over to our edit tab. We're going to click on preferences. Make sure the add-ons tab is selected and go ahead and click install. Locate your downloads folder and the SOLLUMZ plugin that we've just downloaded. Click install add-on. Now you'll see there's a lot of unticked add-ons within Blender itself. They're optional tools for people that are using Blender. What we want to do is go ahead and click on the search bar and search for SOLLUMZ. Again, I already had this installed, so yours may not be ticked, so all you're going to do is make sure the box is ticked. Then just hit refresh just to make sure that it's still ticked. Now that we have SOLLUMZ installed into Blender, you'll notice there's a little arrow over on the right hand side. If we click on this arrow, it will open up these tabs and we can select the SOLLUMZ tools. There's a whole bunch of tools here for SOLLUMZ, but if we click on general, the main two buttons we're going to be using is the import CODEWALKER and export CODEWALKER. So now SOLLUMZ is successfully set up with Blender 4.0, so we'll be able to import and export XML files in and out of Blender. So now we're going to go back to our browser and we're going to search for our next tool. Again, the link will be in the description, but we're going to search for CODEWALKER RPF Explorer. It is possible to download CODEWALKER from GitHub, however, for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be using the GTA5mods.com website to download it. So we're just going to click on downloads a couple of times until CodeWalker starts downloading. Once it's downloaded, go ahead once again and open up the downloads folder. And we're going to extract all as we did before. CodeWalker doesn't need installing, so what we're actually going to do is we're going to open up the unpackaged CodeWalker file and we're going to look for the CodeWalker RPF Explorer. If we open it, once it's finished initializing, it should look a little something like this. We will come back to CodeWalker and make a shortcut for easier access in a little while. So now we're going to go back to our browser and we're going to download our fourth and final tool that we're going to need, and that is OPENIV. Again, I'll leave the link in the description, but you can Google it if you like. Again, we could download OPENIV from their website, but I have chosen to go with GTA 5 mods for this install. Once again, we're going to go back to our downloads folder. We're going to select the OPENIV setup. And we're going to run the installation process. When we first open OPENIV, we're going to need to select Grand Theft Auto 5 and Windows. It is going to ask you for your installation path to your base game of GTA 5. Mine was already automatically inserted. However, you may find that you may need to browse for your GTA 5 game file location directory, either through Rockstar or Steam, depending on what version you have. If it's correctly done, you'll see the green writing successfully. GTA 5 XE version can work with this file. As long as you've got that green writing there, then you're totally fine. And there we have it. OPENIV is also installed. Whenever you are going to use CodeWalker or OPENIV, you need to make sure you select edit mode and OK it. Your mods folder might look completely different to mine because the chances are you don't have any files inside your mods folder right now if you've just downloaded it. But once you do start putting your cars and other stuff inside there, you'll be able to view them inside the OPENIV model viewer as so. OPENIV and CodeWalker both look very similar. The GUI is almost identical, although we use them for different things. They will search for the same directories, so if you drop a car file, for instance, into your mods folder in OPENIV, it will also show up in CodeWalker. One thing you need to know, do not ever edit anything outside of the mods folder, because you'll mess around with your base game files and you'll have to reinstall everything from scratch and it'll just be a horrible process. So for ease of access, what I would usually do is I would drag and drop the RPF Explorer either onto my taskbar, or I'd create a desktop shortcut. Therefore, when you need to open it, you'll have easy access in the future. And there we go, we have downloaded the 4 main tools we need to edit cars for GTA in Blender. Just as a quick recap, we've downloaded Blender 4.0, we've downloaded the SOLLUMZ plugin for Blender. That will give us the capacity to import and export XML files containing the car in and out of Blender, and obviously to edit them inside of Blender. We have downloaded OPENIV and CodeWalker. OPENIV will come in useful for editing 2D textures, and CodeWalker will be using to export the file types that are generally YFT files into XML files, so they're easy to use in Blender.